Hello everyone, this is Perfume Coast, so welcome to my channel. Today's video will be all about new release of Lancome belonging to the line Vie Est Belle, which is called Vanille Nude. So without further ado, let's jump into the ocean of perfumes. But first let me say a few words about the line itself. So Vie Est Belle is one of those lines which I do not appear to be a fan of, just because many flankers and OG as well do come across to my nose as a bit generic and nondescript. However, there are certainly some really excellent releases that I do own and I have them in my collection, and I will mention about some of them later on in the video. However, first thing first, it's all about Vanille Nude, this year release, 2025, and very quickly let's take a quick look at the notes. So according to Fragrantica, on the top we've got solar notes and jasmine, in the middle there's bourbon vanilla, and finally in the base there's white musk and sandalwood. So this one straight away to me full bottle worthy. The opening is very vanilla-y, and this vanilla is not synthetic at all. It's in fact very niche-like, and it has very little to do with Vie Est Belle usual vanilla DNA. That one to me, especially in OG and early flankers, is quite generic and nondescript as said before. However, this one is simply gorgeous. Again, this vanilla is very niche-like, elegant, it has some freshness to it. I can smell some slightly bitterish, green-like accords, but these are really subtle and far on the background. The main stage is all about natural creamy vanilla, where creaminess is amplified by sandalwood, but slightly fresh aldehydic faucets balance nicely this vanilla sandalwood combo that otherwise might have come across a bit heavy and too conventional. So interesting aldehydic twist make this amazing breakthrough in this quite common gourmandi combo of vanilla and sandalwood. So eventually this aldehydic vanilla starts to give off occasional lotion-like shampoo vibes, but those ones never become prominent characteristics. It sort of comes and goes, which makes another interesting mechanics of how this beautiful perfume functions. So the summary would be this big recommendation to test out, of course, as this is your delicious, fluffy, niche-like vanilla with some very interesting fresh aldehydic faucets that, in the style of Baccarat Rouge perhaps, come and go, making this scent quite varying and unusual in a most beautiful way. Because of this freshness that vanilla has to it, this flanker can be worn in warmer seasons, but of course at the same time creamy vanilla would make this release equally perfect for autumn and winter. And since we've touched upon this line Vie Est Belle, let me mention about some previous flankers that I do enjoy and have in my collection. So the first one would be 2023 release, which is called Vie Est Belle Absolu. So let's get reminded of the notes. So according to Fragrantica, what we've got on the top is blackcurrant, fig and orange blossom. In the middle there's orange blossom yet again and jasmine. And finally in the base there's iris, gourmand accord and patchouli. So this scent is all about iris. This iris is powdery, moderately sweet, with a hefty dose of citruses. So zingy, bright, irisy. Closer to the dry down, it has this gourmandy undertone in combination with a bit of Vie Est Belle DNA, which however doesn't stand out. Again, it's all about this iris that's also done in a bit niche-like way, to be honest. But overall, it's beautiful, quite special iris-forward flanker that's also quite long-lasting as well. And then last year, that would be 2024, we've got another release which is called Vie Est Belle Elixir. So let's get reminded of the notes on this one. So according to Fragrantica, what we've got on the top is raspberry, liquor, Calabrian bergamot. In the middle there's violet leaf and rose, and finally in the base there's leather, cacao butter and cedar wood. This is a release of last year, as said before. It's also quite outstanding. It's effectively all about sweet, slightly citrusy raspberry with a bit of smoky leather undertone. This fragrance is a bit boozy in the best traditions of elixir concentration, quite strong and long-lasting, but Also, I have to say that the raspberry in here is a bit synthetic, which however doesn't take away in anything from this beautiful perfume, but gives it a touch of cleanliness, I would say. And raspberry is of course that kind of note that's quite hard to replicate in a natural way. But here again, the fact that it's a bit perfumey, so to speak, provides this extra zingy, clean touch. This perfume is quite powdery too because of the violet in here, and sweetness is amplified by a note of cacao butter. So overall composition is the sweet, citrusy, powdery raspberry with a touch of boozy leather accord. But that's it, guys. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing. I'm curious about your comments, if any. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.